Hey folks, today I wanted to talk about one really important thing what we've been missing as a humans, collectively as a race in a whole fucking world where AI is taking over and then really cutting up our jobs, eating up our jobs. But we don't really have a framework that is cutting up to the changes AI is been doing. Like AI is moving in a pace, and then the existing framework is just like it's not on track at all. Like which is which is absurd, which is really bad. So I want to talk more about um, how we could actually establish a national framework, essentially what should we actually look for, like have a framework, right? And I actually vouch for it, and I hope we get something like that soon. um Basically, uh we should have a national security and technology advancement policy to basically balance innovation and like also the ethical responsibility, right? So I want to talk about a really important thing here. Like in December, Trump announced, hey, this is a national framework for AI, so that all the states in USA is not gonna have a is not going to like say no to this, and then we want to have cross-border trade and stuff. And like in Jan 1st, California state announced a new AI law for basically two things. One is for the companion, like a bot acting like a relationship like a girlfriend, so they announced a law for it. And then they also did a law for basically another one, which is doctor is being like AI is acting as a doctor, right? It's impersonating a doctor, which they actually did like a law on that. So now which is a good sign, like these bodies are coming up and like trying to create frameworks. But still, like AI is advancing at a much bigger pace. We need to have something that actually kind of like a funnel, right? Like any AI tool that comes into market goes through this funnel where people has to go through this checklist of things, probably, right? Like I think that's something we really should look at. Um, so so what I want to talk about the promise about AI, right? All big leaders talk about, say, hey, this AI, we're gonna change everything, right? Like it's gonna transform potential across healthcare, defense, transportation, and like every industry is gonna transform. This is the fifth industrial revolution, isn't it? Right? It is actually the fifth industrial revolution, but at the cost of a bunch of things. Like we have to regulate this. Like when an industrial revolution is happening, at least this is the fifth one. Like every industrial revolution previously did economic crashes, did financial crashes, like hurt humans a lot. Like I mean, like average human beings a lot. Like it should not be doing that this time, right? Like it got to be regulated. AI. So some of the things which are like crazy are like like one of the things is like algorithmic bias, which is undermining public trust. Like these algorithms could be algorithmic bias, right? Like how are you actually doing this? Like there is no system in place enough that doesn't say this. And like there are some systems, some policies that say it, but like how are you checking it, you as a legal system, or like we as humans collectively? I think like we as a humans should at least know and like be happy about this. The one is like privacy violations. Um, so again, like, do we have a really good privacy violation that like, hey, I go to this website and I know what is happening to my data, or like what is like we need like a easy kind of like a label, like how we get on food, like a nutrition label on food, or like a label on alcohol, you know what I mean? Like we should get like a kind of like a really cool label, I guess. I'm thinking like, I mean, I hope like digital economy, we spend like most of our time on these apps. When you're doing that, like, I mean, like, hey, for the food we have it, the time we spend, we should have a label that tells, okay, you do this, and then this contains this, you know what I mean? Like, and also, and I think like one of the big reasons AI is going like too far, and like also countries are okay with it, like they don't want to, like, really stop the growth, right? Which is a good thing, because like there is geopolitical risk. Other countries like cutting up, like actually going up there, right? Like that's another thing. So uh, yeah, so how are we weighing that? And then we should always, like, help innovation go forward, like not like stop innovation. uh, so to put this problem like much more clear, right? So the biggest gap now currently is basically innovation is outspacing regulation. So um, there is national policies which are fragmented. There is policies on ethics, yeah, ethics, privacy, and accountability, but like essentially, they're like so fucking fragmented. The tech is like going like hell. It's like you have a new thing every other day. Like we saw like Gemini 3 was like a good model dropped by Google, and then like Sam Altman went ahead and like said, hey, code red in our company, and like let's go get another model, and they named their model Garlic, which is funny. I mean, like, so we have to really look at here, like, the risks are like these tech companies can actually monopolize, like they have like, they're like taking over a bunch of things, like having this crazy competition, racing against that. Competition is always great. I love competition, but like the thing is here with like what effects it's creating. It's causing an industrial revolution. Like, I think this is where we have to step back, or not step back on the tech, not on innovation, but like on regulation. We have to step back and like create a funnel or something, I guess. Um, Another thing is like these models is like, hey, like AI is definitely eroding a lot of consumer trust. Like, I'm a big supporter of AI. Like, I'm pro AI. I'm not saying not go against AI, like stop innovation. Like, I'm like, if somebody is like saying no to AI, like I'm like, I don't like believe in that idea at all. Like a lot of people say, yeah, AI uses a lot of water than bottling industry. Absolutely, even internet does, but like it creates the same amount of we have to figure out ways how we could use better, and then the process are going to get better, and then like they might actually stop using less water or more water, or we may actually have a way work around. Like we have to work on those, like not like stop using AI, and then like like doesn't really caught up. Like you're not going to stop let other countries don't use AI, right? Like probably you could say like to few people, like that's a wrong argument. Like even people said internet is going to do the same, so we should be on the other side. Like, but like how could like I think even these companies should think about this. Like how could they actually bring consumer trust towards AI? Like they are like, okay, get this new tool, right? Hey, stop there. Like go to the, like actually help people understand, like get that consumer trust. What's wrong in it? You are being a company, and you're also a public companies, right? Like a bunch of them are public companies, and they are not doing this thing. Mm. And I know, like the global competitors for America, especially like China could caught up, and then like uh, they may have to follow. Radios may have to follow, but like setting standards. So that's also a risk. You know what I mean? Like if USA has or EU, they might compete and they may create policies, and then US has to follow. Like I don't know if USA also has a good thing, like which is also good, better. Like if it sets the standards. Some of the recommendations what I say is like we should like the National AI Commission is already there, but like it should establish more for ethical use, and then definitely it's not just that, but like how would we could target innovation over regulation. Like I mean, it is innovation is outpacing regulation. How would we stop that, right? Again, incentivizing the collaborative innovation, which is also a thing. We should be doing that. We should definitely codify the transparent requirements. We should strengthen our international relationship, especially while creating AI regulations. Another thing is we should definitely develop a workforce and consumer education programs. Like at least to build trust over there. You know what I mean? Like people are not still on one pace. Like alignment here is like really really necessary, especially with we're dealing with such big technology, which is we see that where like all human race is like spending a lot of money on it. You know what I mean? um, what happens when we could do this, like one of the thing is like it could definitely bring a lot of freeness in, like it could definitely help innovation, it could bring trust in humans, and like for leadership, this is going to set up a global benchmark in AI governance, upload this, and like really let's l- let everybody know this, right? At least the leaders know this, like so that they can actually have a framework. um, how would we lead our the future so responsibly? Innovation is not at all an option, like leadership is our responsibility, so we have to act now, and then the risk of lagging behind global competitors and jeopardizing societal values is a tough thing. How to act on that, like rapid we have to take a rapid proactive measures that will secure both innovation and ethical leadership. uh, yeah, you know innovation is currently outpacing regulation. What are we doing about it? Thank you.